Hello, I'll be talking about our recent work toward understanding of employee motivation for software inner sourcing. This is our agenda in my presentation. Previously, we conducted a case study on software inner sourcing. We introduced this case study at last year's FSE conference. As you may know, software inner sourcing is a new sourcing option using the open source software development style. In this option, any employee in the company can be a member of one or several projects. They can use their available time during working hour to contribute to one or more projects in the company. On the other hand, in the case study, we found the case participant had conflicting feelings since their attention was split among multiple responsibilities. So we recognize for ensuring healthy employee participation in software inner sourcing, it's important to understand the employee motivation about software inner sourcing. Therefore, in this study, we create a research question that is what motivates employees participating in software inner sourcing to make their time available to other projects. To answer the question, we conduct interview with the case participant and examine the interview response. First, I'm going to talk about an overview of the software inner sourcing project, which we introduced in the FSE paper. In this project, 6 employees participated in the project. We call the person as the inner worker. Regardless of the amount of the time they used for the project, all inner workers were paid their regular fixed salary. We apply the concept of microtasking. Microtasking is to decompose development tasks into short contained. The inner worker could freely choose any of the microtasks. On the other hand, we didn't assign the microtasks to specific inner workers. This slide shows a modeling strategy for answering the research question. In the 4-step strategy, we analyze the participants' perception of software inner sourcing and describe visual models using the ISTAR framework. ISTAR framework is a goal and action-oriented modeling methodology. The ISTAR has been widely accepted in requirements engineering research. The ISTAR includes 2 models, strategic dependency model, SD model, and strategic rationale model, SR model. This is a result of step 1. We created an SD diagram which represents the relation among the roles. The project manager depends on the dedicated member for the workforce, while the dedicated member depends on the project manager for their performance evaluation. On the other hand, the inner worker depends on the project manager to have opportunities to work in other than assigned projects. In step 2, we interviewed all 6 inner workers to identify their conscious or unconscious goals. To do so, we asked the 2 questions. Question 1, what problem hindered your progress? Question 2, what did you need to achieve progress? We assume the problems and needs are tightly connected to their goal. From the interview comment, we identify the tasks, goals, and soft goals. The tasks can either solve the inner workers' problem or meet their needs. Based on the tasks, the 3 goals are considered and created. This goal setting is named the bottom-up approach. We mapped each of the goals to each of the soft goals. The soft goals represent quality attributes. We regard the reward types as a soft goal. In the last step, we create a SR model. The model includes the tasks, goals, and soft goals which are identified in the previous step. We also describe links between tasks and tasks in terms of dependency. As a result, the 3 goals are decomposed to the 6 tasks and then eventually connected to the 1 leaf task, which is make more time for other projects. Now we can answer the research question. We claim the employees, namely inner workers, are motivated to make their time available for other projects if they can achieve at least one of 3 goals: a feeling of accomplishment, a feeling of contribution, and additional monetary incentive. Here is conclusion and future work. In this presentation, we reported the use of I-STAR models to understand employee motivation in a software inner sourcing project. We identified the 3 goals regarding the employee motivation about the software inner sourcing. So we also have conducted other projects in my company. In the next step, we plan to study other projects by using the I-STAR models and validate our models. Thank you for your attention.
Back, I'm here with Shinobu Saito from NTT Japan. We're ready to take questions for his presentation. We already have one from John Knoll. Thanks, John, for the question. Among your 3 goals, were any more common than others? For example, were most developers interested in more money? You can read the questions in the chat, Shinobu, on the right.
Okay. Oh, thank you for your question. It's a very good insight. So there are, even software engineer willingness to participate in the software inner sourcing project, even they got the regular salary. So in order to be motivated, so they need to a kind of more money. So of course you said it's a very common goal. So, but our research results identify the same goal in the context of the software inner sourcing.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for the question. I don't see more. Meanwhile, I will ask you one question. So I'm interested in knowing more about what kind of projects inner worker worked on. So it was the same project, were multiple different projects. What domain was the project from?
So let me make understand what you comment completely. So you say the domain, what domain?
Yeah. So you interviewed inner workers and it was their goals. So inner workers participated in some projects.
Mm-hmm.
What were this project about? Were, I don't know, automotive, telecommunication? What were the projects? Were all the same project or different projects?
So all participants are belonging to the other project. So in the domain, the most of their project are enterprise application development project.
Mm. Oh, okay. So that was common, and
yes.
So one more questions as we wait for other from the audience. In your approach, the I-STAR framework is fundamental. So, what are the characteristics of I-STAR that makes it, so appealing for you? What is the benefit that the I-STAR approach brings you, and why you choose it basically over other solutions?
So the reason why I choose the I-STAR framework is, as I describe in my paper, the I-STAR framework is a very common visualization approach regarding the human intention. So that I-STAR model represents the task, goal, soft goals, which are based on the human intention. So in order to analysis the motivation regarding the software inner sourcing, it's very useful technique visualization for us. So because we choose this the framework, I-STAR framework.
So let me get this straight. So if we're saying that, so compared for for example, instead of using entity relationship UML, you say that using I-STAR, the benefit is that you can understand the motivation, you can represent the motivation of user better.
That's so intention, human intention. That model is the designed aimed to represent the human intention. So
okay. So what are the next steps that you are doing with respect to to this?
This is a good question. Thank you. So in this report, we only focused on the perception on the microtask worker, or what we call the project member. Next step, in the context of software inner sourcing, we are going to focus on the project manager in the context of management perspective. So the next,
Okay, thanks. So we're almost out of time. Shinobu will take questions in the discussion room. Let's move on to the last presentation. The role of skill set in the determination of DevOps implementation strategy, presented by Ruth McCarthy from the University of Salford in UK. I will see you for the next Q&A session in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shinobu, again. Thank you.
Thank you.